It's that guy Tony X. This is the new right party. And right now, you on the Wolf Pack Hour.
To protect the sheep, you gotta catch the wolf. And it takes a wolf to catch a wolf.
You understand? Do you understand? Do you understand? Do you understand? I don't think you understand. Let me bring you on the Wolf Pack Hour right now. This is the Wolf Pack Hour with Tony X and the new right party.
To protect the sheep, you gotta catch the wolf. And it takes a wolf to catch a wolf. You understand?
Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Tonight, usually I say we gotta get into this before we get into that. I'm gonna just do this one thing. Putting this shit up there, that's it. I'm talking while this is going, and I'm letting you know right now. I'm fucking cursing all night. I'm fucking cursing all night. This is the Wolf Pack fucking hour. You're on the Wolf Pack show. Without further fucking ado, play my fucking intro. Please do remember that the New Right Party channel and the New Right Party show is sponsored by patriots like you. And as long as you're sending these donations, it allows me to create the content that will continue to make these motherfuckers sick. As you were.
Versus the family and my family entertainment and his team no sleep. Flossy high and yeah we made it. The haters keep on hating on the songs that we be making, and I heard they want my soul. Illuminati wanna take it. Versus the family and my family entertainment and his team no sleep. Flossy high and yeah we made it. The haters keep on hating on the songs that we be making, and I heard they want my soul. Illuminati wanna take it.
CEO, bullshit, paying for the pussy, I endorse it, riding through the city, that's my off. Man, what the fuck is up with all you deplorable motherfuckers in the building right now, man? Shout out to everybody in the fucking building. I want to make sure I give every one of you deplorable motherfuckers in the building a round of applause. We got Turning Point USA coming this week. We got CRTV coming this week. And we definitely going to have Miss Shannon on CRTV this week. I'm going to make sure that I split my interview with my fiance on this television show. You know, I want to say something, man. You know, shout out to Shannon, man. Big round of applause for my big round of applause for her. Because, you know, she's not seeking attention or notoriety, or she don't give a fuck. But for me, I think fair is fair. And when you have the highest viewed walk away on someone else's movement, I expect that person to reach out to you to show you some type of fucking respect. I expect that person to reach out to you, since so many of your fans are literally looking at someone else. I would reach out to that person. Now, I'm not sure if it's because she's with me and I had my own walk away and I didn't go through, you know, you or whatever the case may fucking be or whatever, but do the right thing. Do the right thing. You can speak for gay men of every race and color. That's cool. But you can't speak for women. You do not speak for women. You need to make sure you holler at Shannon, man. That's what I'm going to say about that. And for everyone else, if you don't know who the fuck I am.
And for the girl backstage, and for that girl backstage, make it publicly clear. Never mind who you thought I was. I'm Rick James, bitch.
That's who the fuck I am. Now, you know what the fuck I need? I need some fucking gangster, bring me in fucking music. I need an intro made by somebody so they can't tell me they're gonna flag my shit. But I need a hard-ass intro we know. Play that shit, DJ! Sean Maville, won't you text something in the chat right now? And I want you to look at yourself. Look at your name in the chat right now, Sean Maville. Shout out to you. Congratulations. That was Ass Dropping Jolly's call. Alright, y'all. That was good music right there. I needed that good energy to bring me in fucking music. Fucking love you motherfucking deplorables, man. I don't know what I would do without you motherfuckers, man. I don't know where I would be without you motherfuckers, man. I would not have nothing deplorable without you deplorable motherfuckers, man. I love you deplorable motherfuckers, man. I love you deplorable motherfuckers. Where the fuck will we be? You know who the fuck we going to? The queen of the deplorables. Me and my lady's favorite lady. This is the only woman that my lady will allow in the bedroom when we are laying down in bed. Other than that, she's not letting no other ladies inside. Only Judge Janine. We have a thing for Judge Janine. We have a thing for Judge Janine. You know what I'm saying? We love ourselves, some Judge Janine. Tell her like it is. And it seems every time I fucking turn around, she's saying the shit that I say. She's saying it in a nice and angry way, but...
And counting.
But you know, I got my boat right now. Let's do this.
Have you gotten your copy yet? A very special show on tap for tonight. Counselor to the President, Kellyanne.
Big shout out to Ass Dropping Jolly. This is my second in command, man. Give her a fucking round of applause. Give my moderators applause. We're gonna stop that right there. And one more time, I'm gonna remind you. First the fuck off, this is who the fuck I am.
Make it perfectly clear. Never mind who you thought I was. I'm Rick James, bitch.
To protect the sheep, you got to catch the wolf. And it takes a wolf to catch a wolf. You understand?
It takes a fucking wolf to catch a fucking wolf, all right? So now we're going to get in here. This is the Wolf Pack Hour. I got my wolves in the building. I got my wolf pack in the building.
Conway is here live. Katrina Pearson from the Trump re-election campaign. And later, the host of Tucker Carlson Tonight, Tucker Carlson himself. Also on deck, an exclusive tour of Liberty University with the president.
Live free or die. I want to tell you that you was up in the talks of becoming a moderator. And the next two moderators that come up, my pick will be you. You will be my next pick as a moderator, and it's coming up soon. So don't fret. I did that before we reached the 7,000 mark, because I'm gonna drop some more once we reach the 7,000. I figure after we leave Turning Point and we're done with everything, I think that the viewership and everything is gonna rise. So there's a few people in here that will be receiving wrenches and Live Free or Die. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do it now. I'll just do it now. Live Free or Die. You just got your wrench. So we're going to give Live Free or Die a round of applause, too. All right? We're going to give you a wrench right now. Let me give you that wrench. I love you, too, Guess. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate everybody in the fucking building, man. I really, really do, man. Brother gave a $50 donation earlier today, man. I appreciate that. I think it was Roy N, too. I think it was you, Roy. Roy, do me a favor. I love you, loved one. But if you're gonna give a big donation like that, send that to the GoFundMe. And if you're gonna send $50, I would rather you break up. Send $25 to the Angel Mom. Send $40 to the Angel Mom. Send me $10. You know, me and Shannon appreciates it. But for right now, I want to make sure that we complete the Angel Mom's task, and I want to help her with her GoFundMe. So you can split it up. Anybody give me any donations? I mean, if it's $20 or less, you could just put it in the chat, and we'll figure it out later on. You know, we're not worried about that much. But anything $50 and over, we would appreciate if you take it and put it in the GoFundMe. You don't even have to give me anything of the $50. All you have to do is just put it in and give it to the Angel Mom, and you could just let me know in the chat, hey, send Angel Mom $50, and I'm going to make sure I give you a shout-out and send you some special love off my Instagram. I want you to make sure that you people understand. I want to make sure that you people understand that the most important thing we have in this nation is the women of this nation. Okay? No one buys treasures and then displays them for people to just take freshly off their stoop. No one buys diamond rings and chains and leave it on their front porch unattended. You protect the things that's valuable to you. And that's what we need to do with our women. We need to protect the women of this nation. They're the key to the future of this nation. Let's start standing up and being men, people. The women need us.
President of the groundbreaking college, Jerry Falwell Jr., a tour you won't want to miss. But first, my opening statement. The military needs to be deployed to our southern border.
Not gonna lie, I'm gonna just say this. God knew what he was doing when he created Italian women.
Immediately to stop the caravan of thousands of illegals pouring into our nation. Right now is a very dangerous time for Americans. Border control is essential to your safety and the safety of your family. The military, the National Guard, ICE, Border Patrol, and DHS needs to block this caravan from entering our nation. Now, I'm not saying they're all criminals. What I am asking is, who are they? What I am saying is, I want to vet them, screen them. I want to find out who among them is a criminal.
She is better than me because I don't want to get to know any one of these motherfuckers. I don't want to fucking see these motherfuckers. I don't want to take their names down. I don't want to smell their breath. I don't want to hear their voice. I don't want to even understand that their country exists. I'm too wrapped up in trying to fix the fucking one I live in. I'm too wrapped up trying to fix the fucking one that I live in. I don't want to talk to them, but she's being nice. But she's going to get to it, though. I love Judge Janine. She's going to get to it, though. She's being nice, but she's going to be real.
Among them is a gang member, like the notorious MS-13 gang members who arrogantly rode into our United States by invitation during the Obama years and are now in New York and elsewhere brutally and savagely murdering innocent American citizens. I want to know who is a pedophile, who is a sex offender, who thinks they're entitled to beat their wives.
And I personally think that pedophiles deserve the death penalty.
I want to know who has an alcohol problem, who has a drug problem, who likes to drive drunk, and who has no problem hauling drugs for the cartel. And if you can prove that you're not one of them or any other kind of criminal, I want to know what...
They're watching me strip tease with Shannon right now so she can smell my clothes and smell all that Tom Ford on my shit.
You have to offer us. What do you bring to this great nation? What are you going to contribute? Why should we be proud to count you as an American, other than adding to the Democrats' voting bloc and continuing the mob mentality?
No, because you're not going to just add to the Democratic voting bloc. What you're going to do is you're going to come here and you're going to expect me to pay for you to fuck. You're going to expect to come here and be rewarded with the living sperm that you bring with you, the walking sperm cell, and the bitch that carried it, and you're gonna expect me to pay for it. And as I've said on my Instagram, I'm not doing that shit. That's the equivalent of someone fucking a bitch, making a baby, and then this nigga and this bitch coming to your house and saying, take care of us. Fuck out of here. Fuck I look like. People tend to sit there and tell you that because of your success, somehow you gotta pay for others being poor. I gotta pay for other motherfuckers being poor. Why? Am I the cause of it? No. Did I do something to directly affect this person and make this person poor? No. Was I even alive when shit started to fuck up for them? No. Was my mom alive? No. Well, if she was, maybe she was a baby or a little girl. Why the fuck are we paying for it then? Why are we paying for it? There's a saying, teach an illegal to fish, and he'll stay in his own fucking country. You gain nothing by giving these motherfucking illegals anything for free. This doesn't help their country. You think it helps their country? It doesn't help their country. It hurts their country. It does. All those people who are willing to go through all of this shit to get here should be willing to go through less than that to make their countries great. You didn't have to risk your own life in your own country to build something, to create something, to come up with an idea. All of those people that were assembled trying to come across the bridge, trying to get to the United States of America, all of them could have told someone else, and someone else could have told someone else, we're going to march on our own government and make the government take care of us. They showed you that they're pussies. Instead of them staying home and taking care of their own business and cleaning their own house and forcing their own fucking government to work for them, they think that we're pussy and we're going to let them come over here and somehow just run shit. First, they thought they was going to run down on Mexico. That's not going to happen. Nah, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. No one from the Democratic Party is talking about the fact that drug lords are being paid to bring these people here. Some to the tune of some $40 million. $40 million. That was to just bring these motherfuckers to the point of where they are. They had to pay drug lords $7,000 per person. That in itself is a threat to national security. When you enrich the drug cartels that are funneling drugs into this nation and building fucking tunnels, I have a problem with. Who's to say that some of these so-called refugees or whatever the fuck they are, because that's a standing army to me. Who's to say that they all say that they are who they say they are? There's rapists in there, murderers in there, child rapists in there, robbers, thieves, and bitches who like to get fucked, have babies, and then expect someone else to pay for it. We got enough of that shit here already. None of them bitches sucked my dick. None of them bitches licked my balls. I don't even pay prostitutes. Never in the history of my existence have I ever paid a bitch for pussy. I'm not paying for pussy I haven't fucked either. I'm not paying for pussy. And I'm not paying for other motherfuckers to fuck on pussy, make babies, and then pay for all of that shit too. Because the shit is, no one is breaking this shit down to you and telling you what the fuck the shit really boils down to. We're in debt. We're deep in fucking debt. Don't have it to give anyone anything anyway. In a safe face. They keep playing this biggest in the world type shit and global leadership. We stay helping other countries that would rather watch us burn in the first place.
That you have already exhibited you're proficient at. Now, if you're not a criminal, I want you to get to the back of the line.
I'm letting all my moderators know that have my personal phone numbers that I will be changing my number very, very soon. So I'm giving you the heads up. I'm letting you know. Make sure that you text me tonight if you have my number. If you don't, make sure that you're a show moderator. Make sure that you text the show's number or you email me at the number that I gave the moderators that the moderators all should have. And I'll make sure that you get the number, the new number, once I change the number. I will be changing my number. Some people are like, oh, you know, don't change the number. I'm going to change my number. I'm not going to change. I'm going to change my number. I'm going to change my number because of exes that had my number calling me early in the morning, saying crazy shit while this woman is laying next to me. And I got to tell the person, don't be disrespectful, you know, my wife is here. So to alleviate all of that shit, I'm going to change my number. Let's get back to Dutch.
Line behind everyone else who waited for MS-13 gang members.
You do realize, though, y'all, when I finish rolling this blunt, it's fucking on.
Our nation. Now, I'm not saying they're all criminals. What I am asking is, who...
Subconscious, shout out to you. It don't matter. If you donate to the Angel Mom, and you donate to the Angel Mom again, and you don't donate to me, it doesn't matter. Quincy, I appreciate you, man. Thank you very much, man. Damn, we say no more kids Planned Parenthood, and they run our borders with their kids. Now you see what I'm saying, Quincy? This shit is crazy, man. Thank you, though, man. I appreciate you, man. I had my OG on the phone with me yesterday, man. I wish I could have had him on the show today. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna contact him and see if he downloaded Skype yet. I'm gonna try to give him a call later on in the show though, and try to get him on and just check his temperature on California. He's in California right now. You know what I mean? And he ready to get the fuck up out of California too. He's talking about moving soon.
Who are they? What I am saying is, I want to vet them, screen them. I want to find out who among them is a criminal, who among them is a gang member, like the notorious MS-13 gang members who arrogantly rode into our United States by invitation during the Obama years and are now in New York and elsewhere brutally and savagely murdered.
To anyone in New York, to all my Crips, to all the blood homies, say, yo, Drip, I know you watching this shit. Yo, it's green light on anybody claiming Antifa. Any one of them white boys running around claiming Antifa, it's green light on them niggas. It's open season on them niggas. Straight up. It's green light, it's open season on them. Drip, I know you watching this shit, blood. You know this is the big Crip talking to you right now, cuz. It's open season on these niggas, man. When I come to New York, I need every single one of my real ones with me when I hold my rally. Any one of them show their face, we popping on them. That's it.
Murdering innocent American citizens. I want to know who is a pedophile, who is a sex offender, who thinks they're entitled to beat their wives. I want to know who has an alcohol problem, who has a drug problem, who likes to drive drunk, and who has no problem hauling drugs for the cartel. And if you can prove that you're not one of them or any other kind of criminal, I want to know what you have to offer us. What do you bring to this group?
Personally, I don't give a fuck what you have to offer us. If you got something to offer us, we know how to find motherfuckers. We will send for you. Americans know how to go find the incredible, the best, the la creme de la creme. But you know what? If we haven't went to look for you, if we haven't called on you, if you didn't receive an email, if the stalk didn't come by, if a pigeon didn't fly by with a scroll on his fucking leg, stay your ass home. Stay your ass home. All the motherfuckers that made you get off that motherfucking bus and walk for the cameras and everything else, whoop their ass. Strip them of their clothes. Look for the money in their pockets because somewhere they got that shit. Don't let them get away from you because they got money. They got money. Make the motherfuckers give you money. There's enough of you motherfuckers to start your own fucking city within your country. But you can't come here. Keep your begging asses home. We have enough homeless here. We have enough starving here. We have enough children here that don't have parents. And shout out to Shannon, because me and Shannon will be adopting along with having our own child. We decided on 2. One for us and one we adopt. And basically we'll have 4. Because my daughter and my son. So we'll have 4 children. But at home with us, we'll have our child, and we will have one child that we will adopt, which will be our child. But we're adopting American. We don't need to look elsewhere to help in America or anyone. Charity starts at home. This bitch Madonna went all across the world to go get her little black baby, when the majority of the money she's made has come from the U.S. She could have helped the child who's black as fuck living in the United States of America. She could have found one baby blacker than the one she got if she really wanted to. I told you what that's about. A bunch of rich people buying kids like pets. Oh, where did you get this one from? I got this one from Peru. Where did you get this one from? I got this one from Egypt. Oh my God, look, he's so cute. Look at his head. Pats his head like a little doggy. Then they dress them all weird and shit. And then name them weird ass names like Booger or Lockpick or some stupid shit like that. Name they baby Blueberry. Got a black ass baby from Africa and you're naming the baby fucking Blueberry. Berry. You got yourself a fucking Arab that you got from fucking Iraq and you naming this motherfucker Yellow. That's what the liberals do. They collect little minority children like dogs. They carry them around like dogs. Like the little itty bitty dogs. You see these little black bitches with the fake nails and shit holding all day, running around with, having a whole lot of little shit. That's what they do with their kids. Like dogs. Like they do with their black correspondents for CNN. Like dogs. Hurt. As soon as they point, oh my God, Kanye West is going to make a difference with the president. Bunch of fucking niggas doing it too. None of them is free in thought. All of them are sitting up there saying the same thing. That means somebody's writing this shit. The person in power is CNN you never fucking see. Aside from when you see him. But the person writing everything for these dumb motherfuckers, you never see. You never see him. He's the one guy that will be watching as the people he wrote all that shit for is walking with the people that they lied to, headed inside of fucking FEMA ovens. Oh, they got a space for that motherfucker writing this shit. They ain't gonna let that nigga go. That nigga is nice with his pen.
Great nation. What are you going to contribute?
Absolutely nothing. Because I already told you, we do not want you here. If you got anything we want, we know how to come get it. We know how to come look for you. We know how to come take it. People may say, oh, you making it seem good in the United States to take it. It is what it is. It is what it is. If you got something we want, we know how to come take it or we know how to come buy it. Either way, shape, or form. But if it's something that we want, we know how to come after it. We haven't asked for you, stay your ass home.
Why should we be proud to count you as an American, other than adding to the Democrats' voting bloc and continuing the mob mentality that you have already exhibited you're proficient at? Now, if you're not a criminal, I want you to get to the back of the line behind everyone else who waited for a visa, came here legally, hired a lawyer, learned American history, and swore allegiance to this great nation. And only then am I interested in even talking to you about entering. I, for one, am sick and tired of the sense of entitlement that illegals have to enter this country and then immediately claim their constitutional rights.
Like, we give a fuck about what you think you got when you ain't got shit. What needs to happen is, and I don't give a fuck again how nobody feels, motherfuckers coming in this country, violating your sovereignty, you need to violate them back. And strip their ass, butt ass naked, take everything they got. Only person keeping clothes on them is the kids. The mom can take that shit off too. Send that bitch back in her bra and panties. This rough out here. This is America. Don't catch you slipping up. Don't catch you slipping up. Take your fucking sneakers off. Them shits just ran down and fucked up. I'm tying them laces together and I'm throwing them shits on the fucking wires in the streets and I'm leaving them shits there. I have a whole bunch of fucking illegal sneakers lined up on the fucking wire in the fucking street while you dumb motherfuckers walk back barefooted. Don't come here. Don't come here.
As they carry the flags, not of America, but the flags of their country. And God forbid we try to deport them to the country whose flag they so proudly wave. They have no claim on this country. They are not entitled to be here. They break our laws to come here. Now, this is not a left or right issue. This is a security issue, a safety issue. We simply cannot have people about whom we know nothing living next door to us, working next to us, or driving next to us. Crossers claim they're running from violence in their home countries. I spent my career fighting on behalf of innocent, helpless, silent victims of crime, victimized by violence, criminals who should have been stopped.
That is enough people to stop any kind of violence being interactive. It's crazy how they're telling you that these fucking people are coming over here trying to escape violence, but they're paying drug lords in order to come here. They're telling you that these people are broke and don't have no money. Look in the fucking crowd at these motherfuckers holding cell phones, taking fucking pictures. Look at it. If they're fucking poor, how the fuck did they get in a fucking van to come here? Who did it? Why the fuck didn't this person who spent the $40 million to put them sick bastards on the fucking road simply just give that money towards rebuilding and helping them in their own fucking structure? Because this is clear. It's a clear ploy to start a fucking war within our fucking country. We need to find George Soros right now and we need to kill him. I said it. Let them take this show down. I don't give a fuck. Make sure you guys take this show, save this show. As soon as it's done, make sure you save it. We need to find George Soros and we need to eliminate George Soros. George Soros needs to be eliminated. Everyone with him in his organizations, within his foundations that are running them, need to be exterminated too. They have way too much money and influence to be incarcerated. But they can continue to do the same shit that they're doing. Why the fuck do we continuously talk about this man, this fucking piece of shit, and we know who he is, and we do nothing about it, and we don't go get his ass? This is an act of war. That is a marching, standing army coming to your gates. And they are trying to force themselves in this country. Force themselves in this country. That's an act of war. That's an invasion. And currently right now, Honduras is invading America. And they're doing it under the friendly guise of migration. That's what they're doing. They're doing it under the friendly guise of migration. The Honduras government knows what's going on. We've already informed them. They already arrested the person who was supposed to have been the founder of all of this shit. Instead of the Honduran government sending their armed forces behind these individuals to start to apprehend them and make them go back, they're leaving them at the Mexican border. This is an act of war. This is an act of war against Mexico and the United States of America. Don't think that all of those people are just rushing to come into the United States of America as if Mexico doesn't have a lot to offer, because they do. It's a lot of money in Mexico. There's so much money in Mexico that all those individuals that just went across that aisle you seen in front of you could seep into Mexico and you would never hear from them again because they would have working for the cartels. Smuggling drugs, growing drugs, manufacturing drugs. They need them. You know how many of these people just told their children to just go while they stayed? How many of them sold their children so their children can just go and they can just sell their kid into sex trafficking? You know how many sex traffickers is in this group with a bunch of fucking kids? So they can bring them here and sell the kids off to sexual predators so they can be fucking these little kids in the ass? That's what the Democrats want. Let them kids in. Yeah, let them in. Let them in. We gonna fuck them in the ass. Yeah. That's what we do. Slice of pizza over here. Who want the pepperoni? The Democrats not playing. They're open racists. They're open rapists. They're open Satanists. They're open anarchists. And no one is doing shit about it on the fucking Republican side. Aside from Donald Trump. See, a hard dose of suck my dick reality is something that these pieces of shit haven't been prepared for. And every time they open their mouth to say Trump's name, he's sticking his dick right in it. Head fucking every reporter that sits there and tells you he's a racist. Then he turns around and he lowers the black unemployment rate. He reduces black poverty in America. Minority poverty in America. Or now he's putting his dick through two heads at one time. He's just breaking out the back of someone else's head and just fucking two heads at one time right now. He's the only president I've ever seen in my life stand up to the establishment. He asked Hillary about Haiti. For someone who's racist, this bitch has a ton of other things he could have talked about. He ain't never have to bring up Haiti. For someone who's racist, he sure likes to think about black people.
Long before the crime. You're telling me because they're being victimized that every one of them is a victim and therefore entitled to come here as a...
I've been a victim since January 21st, 1982. I've been a victim of the Democratic Party. You know, my motherfucking mama was on welfare when we was kids. When we got older, and my brother won the lottery. And when he went to go get that money, you know, they took all that money out from my mother being on welfare. Took all that shit out. You know, my brother said, I didn't fucking receive no welfare. They said, we don't give a fuck. Your mama received welfare. You got to pay us. He couldn't fight it. He gave people their money. So what happens when we let these illegals in? We give them all of this shit for free. Do we wait for one of these pieces of shit to hit the lotto? And if they do we get paid back? As far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, we don't get paid back shit.
As opposed to anywhere else on the planet? Go to the UN. Stay in Mexico. Now they say their poverty is justification for illegal entry. I've got news for you.
It's not.
Millions are suffering from poverty all over the world. Haiti, Uganda, Zimbabwe, the Congo, third world countries. So why is it just Central Americans and Mexicans are the poverty-stricken ones pouring into this?
Because they don't give a fuck about black people. They don't give a fuck about the black people that are here. They don't give a fuck that coming here will directly hurt black Americans and even the legal immigrants that have been here already. They don't care.
This country by the millions. Why? Why? Because they can. Because no one has told them they can't. Because no one has stopped them. They come because there's a big prize at the end. Education, medication, housing, food stamps, all the things that you pay for. So you want open borders. Look at what it's done to Europe. If the left, the mob, and the demon rats had their way, there'd be rogue cities and rogue zones all over the U.S., just like Europe, with crime-ridden zones where law-abiding citizens, even law enforcement, are afraid to enter, and for good reason. The left, then, the Democrats in this country...
I just felt some of them people praying. I intercepted some of that energy. I just want to tell you that he's not answering those prayers. Some prayers he does answer. See, God doesn't respond to the wicked in kind. Every book you've ever read giving you description on how to conduct yourself, it told you respect the laws of the lands.
Add an additional layer of protection.
You cannot ask for God's help and acceptance if you choose to hurt people along the way. That is not a righteous step. This is some real shit.
So illegal criminals.
Somebody was just sitting there praying just now. I know it sounds funny I'm saying this shit. I'm telling you, somebody was just sitting there praying just now and had it all in him and hoping and praying, and it's not going to work. It's not going to work because they're going about it the wrong way. I'm saying funny, fucked up shit here because I'm just being real and saying how everybody feels, but I'm just being honest when I tell you this. God does not answer the wicked in kind.
Cannot be arrested in sanctuary cities and states where American citizens are thus put at risk. These people don't want a border wall. Have you ever asked yourself why? Do you really think they have a philosophical or an ideological objection to the concept of a wall or protection? Of course not. All these bozos are protected by doors and fences and security, yet they want our borders open. They want illegals to cross as a mob and act as a mob and unite around a state they have no right to be in and register and vote Democrat. Mexico thumbs its...
In Texas, it's already said that they received over 1 million illegal votes.
No, many bring the poison, drugs that take the lives of hundreds of thousands of Americans. A primer. 90% of heroin used in this country comes through the southern border. And Mexico thumbs its nose at us and says, your people asked for it. I got an idea. It's time to play hardball. The foreign aid to those countries, Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador, some $464 million in foreign aid from us, end it. Congress needs to stop the flow of our money to them. And if they need it so badly, use it to take care of the poverty and the victimization in their country. And I am sick and tired of people telling us to have a heart. We have a heart. We are the most generous country in the world. In 1986, Ronald Reagan gave all illegals amnesty. But amnesty does nothing but create an incentive for additional crossings by illegals. And so, here we are again. And for all of you who want to trash President Trump, I've got even more news for you. Presidents Bush and Obama sent the military to the border to the tune of $1.3 billion. And it...
You hear that? Both these globalists sent troops to the border, totaling 1,800 troops total, 2006, 2010. Why do they get to secure our border, but our president doesn't? Why is it that these two globalists get to secure our border, but our president doesn't? Because when they do it, it's an active show. When our president do it, it's a fucking response. It's an action. It's real. It's not an act.
It's time to do it again. So let me be clear. When you cross the border into these United States illegally, expect to be arrested. You do not have the right to come here. We did not invite you here. You cannot stay here. And on your way out, you can tell the Democrats.
If you're a YouTuber.
We don't want to give YouTube no type of light on my shit. We don't want to give nothing. They trying to sell nothing, none of this shit. We all fuck all that. Fuck it.
And the angry mob that's coming here, you either come the right way like everyone else or be ready to face the military and a one-way ticket back to where you came from. And that's my open. Don't forget, my book, Liars, Leakers, and Liberals, The Case Against the Anti-Trump Conspiracy, has been on the New York Times bestsellers list for 3 months and counting. And believe it, it's got to be killing them at the New York Times. And President Trump tackled the issue of immigration and the caravan in Guatemala while taking on the Democrats. Watch Tom Fitton. All right, good evening, Tom. You know, it's very interesting to read about this federal judge. His name is Royce Lamberth, and he was pretty outraged that not just how they granted immunity to the Hillary people in that email investigation, but for providing false statements on the Clinton email case. Now, 2 years ago, I said all of these State Department lawyers should be brought up on contempt or fraud before the court. What do you think should happen?
Well, at least they should be required to ask more questions, and they should stop obstructing our request for information. You know, the federal court judge already granted us discovery because he had been gamed. He thought there was bad faith in the way, obviously, the State Department had behaved in the Freedom of Information Act.
It's funny how the Democrats don't tell you that. It's funny how they're telling you that there was Russian collusion, but they're not coming around to tell you that the judge that issued a FISA warrant is now pissed and asking what the fuck is going on. They're not telling you that.
Lawsuit about Benghazi, no less.
Right.
And of course, they were hiding their Clinton emails from us. They didn't tell the court or Judicial Watch forthrightly about what was going on. And that's why the court came in not too long ago and said, look, I had false statements given to me. I don't know about these false affidavits that were given to me. I'm interested to know what the Justice Department knew, what and when.
Okay.
And I'm surprised that Cheryl Mills, Hillary Clinton's top aide, was given immunity when I found that she had committed perjury, and I couldn't believe her in another case about emails that Judicial Watch had pursued.
Okay,
so the State Department's fighting. The State Department is fighting us on this, which is most troubling.
Well, yeah, and the State Department, as well as the Department of Justice, said at the beginning of the Trump administration that Hillary Clinton was a private citizen, and therefore her record shouldn't be available to the public as freedom of information. I mean, the deep state is so deep, I don't even know where it stops or starts. But having said all that, doesn't the judge have the right to hold these lawyers in contempt?
Well, you'll see.
That's why she won't run again. Because if she runs again, then it's up for public scrutiny.
That's potentially the relief that may be granted over after we get some of the questions we still have pending with the State Department. We're asking, for instance, this judge to allow us to depose Hillary Clinton directly, ask her questions directly about her email practices. And he's considering it still. Cheryl Mills also another top aide.
What's the likelihood that that's going to happen, Tom?
I think it's a significant likelihood. We've already questioned her under oath in written questions. We're fighting her in another court about getting more questions answered. So discovery for Hillary Clinton is a real possibility. All
right. I want to move on to something else. You said that it's time to bring Mueller in to testify before Congress. You're talking about oversight in their oversight capacity or the judiciary? Who?
Well, you could have the Oversight Committee, you could have Judiciary Committees of both the Senate and the House question him about the administration of his investigation, the circumstances of his hiring. We have Rosenstein.
So what's it going to take? Have you spoken to any Congress people about this, Tom?
Oh, no, they don't want to do this. They don't want to do this.
Why?
I've been struck by the fact that Mueller has been exempted from oversight. The only government official in the Trump administration who they don't want to talk to. Look at all the folks they want to bring in as witnesses: McCabe, Strzok, Rosenstein. But they don't want to talk to the guy who seems to be running the Justice Department on the Russia investigations, Bob Mueller.
Right,
You know,
and
frankly,
looking the other way when he finds out that there's criminal activity on the left. Outrageous. But maybe the deep state goes into Congress too. Who knows?
That's right. It's well represented.
I love you, Judge Janine.
In Congress, there's a deep state caucus there, believe you me.
Sad commentary. Tom Fitton, thanks so much.
How long you been friends with those guys?
All right, still ahead tonight, I take you on an exclusive to Liberty University in Virginia for a tour given by none other than the groundbreaking school's president, Jerry Falwell Jr. And next, the marquee matchup of the night, Katrina Pearson, Chris Hahn, the political panel, chomping at the bit to debate the week in Washington. Don't go away. Back in a moment.
Shot and killed in Georgia today, and the suspects are still at large. Officer Anton Toney of the Gwinnett County Police Department.
So I guess this officer lives don't matter. Where's Black Lives Matter right now? Where is Black Lives Matter right now? This cop wasn't out shooting people for no reason. This cop became a cop to serve and protect his community. This cop became a cop to make sure that no bad cops could stay bad cops. Like the majority of cops that take the job, put on the badge, put on that heavy ass, hot ass fucking uniform, and then have to wear that shit around, chasing motherfuckers down and catching them. It's about 90 pounds worth of shit on someone's waist, someone's chest, all together. And they're running with that shit. On it all day, on them all day. They're dealing with crazy people, cool people, murderers. But the one thing he should have the right to do, or rather he should have had the right to do, was make it home safe. Because his job doesn't entail him going out to hurt anyone. He's called when someone is hurt. This was a good guy. If we all don't mind, please, let's just bow our heads for 1 second and give his brother a moment of silence for this officer. I want to send my prayers and my condolences to his family. So we can all just bow our heads for a moment and give his brother that respect. I would appreciate it. Thank you very much. Wanted to give this a second, and I wanted to talk about this. I keep telling you, I have a sister that's a cop, man. She's a damn good cop. I couldn't imagine getting a phone call like that, because I'm gonna lose everything that I've ever worked for.
And was shot around 3 p.m. He was responding to reports of a suspicious vehicle at a middle school near Snellville, Georgia.
He was going to a school because of a suspicious vehicle that in fact was criminals outside of a school. Listen to the story.
Toney, a 2-year veteran.
Please make sure when you pray tonight, you pray for his soul, and you pray for his family.
Of the force later died at the hospital. Witnesses say as many as 4 suspects fled the scene. And with no winner in last night's Mega Millions lottery drawing, the jackpot grows to a record-breaking $1.6 billion. This is the largest jackpot in history, just barely edging out the previous record set in January of 2016. The massive jackpot bringing many first-time players to the lottery. The odds of winning are about 1 in 302 million. I'm Anita Vogel. Now let's take you back to justice with Judge Janine.
If I won that lottery, that would mean that me and Shannon would have had $1 billion. I would take 200 million of that, and I would donate that to law enforcement all over this country. I know it's the what if I could, but I'm dead ass. Why would I do it? Because I would make sure that that 200 million goes to PAL programs. Police Athletic League programs, not for cops to put it in their pockets, not for new guns and cars and toys, and the government takes care of all of that for our people. I would invest $200 million in PAL because this stops senseless violence. The Police Athletic League allow police officers to interact with the youth of their communities and interact with them with something that everyone loves, which is sports. Currently, the Democrats are trying to make that un-American. They have programs that taught you about drugs, that showed you the different types of drugs to stay away from. They gave you tons of numbers and contacts to the Boys and Girls Club. They were mentors, and we need to reestablish that with our officers. That way, the children in the officers no longer find themselves having to be afraid of each other because the news keeps saying that they should be.
As you can see, chaos at the Guatemala-Mexico border and immigration taking center stage in the national debate again, just in time for the midterm elections. Just one of the topics we talk about with the panel. Syndicated radio show host Chris Hahn making a special appearance on Justice Tonight. Senior advisor to Trump 2020 reelection, Katrina Pearson. All right, guys, you are familiar with the mob of illegal immigrants, illegal aliens, pushing through from Guatemala to Mexico against police and enforcement. And what we saw in those few seconds were virtually all men. Tell me, Chris, why these people should be allowed to enter in a mob of thousands into the United States.
Look, I am for controlled borders as...
I'm just afraid to hear what this dumb motherfucker got to say. Because I try not to watch all of the program before you guys watch it. I just watch it to make sure, just like in the front of it, I just watch it to make sure that we're going to go somewhere else. That way it's not repetitive. You understand what I mean? I haven't heard what this dumbass has to say. And for the life of me, I don't fear anything, but I really just don't want to hear it. But I have to. Because they're going to tear his ass up. I know Judge is not going to play.
Are most people on the left in this country. I think that the president had an opportunity last year when Schumer and Pelosi offered him DACA for the wall, and then he was talked at.
Now look how they held it on that little girl for so long. But they don't want to show you all of the men in this crowd. For every woman and child, there are at least 50 men. It's 50 niggas per bitch. That's how it's going down, man. There's 50 niggas per bitch.
Out of it by McConnell and Ryan because they wanted this exact...
You got this dude putting his hands up. Like, come on. Like, y'all know me or some shit. Like, let's go back to the little girl. Little Nina. The little girls don't got nothing to do with it. But you see, they have to show some kids.
In this country.
But if it was a lot of kids, then they would have showed every scene with kids in them.
I think that the president had an opportunity.
They have the footage. They have all the footage. They edit it up and they cut it up as much as they possibly can. Fox is taking this footage that they are airing. Fox isn't there. Fox isn't there. Fox has no conservatives on the ground with anything saying Fox News because Fox knows that mob will try to tear that camera crew the fuck apart. Fox isn't there. They're asking you where the fuck did the camera crews come from? They're giving this footage. This is the footage that's being regurgitated. So I'm telling you, they have all the footage. If they wanted to, they can just show and compile everything showing kids in it. Just to change the narrative. But they can't because there's so many fucking niggas.
Opportunity last year when Schumer and Pelosi offered him.
Shorty had the Avengers shirt on with her daughter. I wanted to show you Iron Man and she was on her shirt. That's some current shit. That's not nothing old or none of that shit. I seen that shirt. That's why I spotted it. It's the white shirt. You go back into the video, you'll see it.
DACA for the wall.
Watch this dumbass here. Watch this dumbass here. With this shit on. Let me move this shit over to make sure. Let me see. I want you to see this dumb motherfucker. This nigga lifting his arms up like, hey, you know me. You know me. You know how I give it up. Yo, let me in the club. Let me in. This is the disrespect of these pissy boys right here. I said pissy boys too. I didn't say pussy, pissy. Motherfuckers stink. They been walking for a long ass time. Ain't nobody hit that shower. Fuck out of here. Yeah, I got jokes. This nigga got his hands up like, yo, you know me.
And then
look,
he was talking.
Look, like, yo, you know me. What's up? You don't got me? You saying you ain't let me in? You ain't gonna let me in the club? You gonna keep me outside the whole entire time? Sit your stupid ass outside.
Out of it by McConnell.
Look. Nigga like, what's up? Why we want this aggressive motherfucker in here? Even the nigga in front of him with the construction worker glasses on, with his hat backwards, look back at him like, dude, what the fuck is your problem? What's your problem? You know, it would have been hard, right? Let me tell you how it would have been hard. But they dumb. They dumb as fuck. That's what I'm saying, man. I'm glad they don't have nobody like me on their team, man. Because then I would have a real serious problem out there, and I would have somebody to contend with. But the thing is, I'm real, and that person will be fake, so I would always win. These people.
And Ryan, because they wanted this exact issue for this exact moment. They are more concerned about the election than solving the actual problem.
So your answer to these, listen, Chris, your answer to these illegals crossing and violently crossing, resisting law enforcement, all men, is because they're concerned about the Trump, Schumer.
Niggas is just carrying bitches' babies for them. So bitches don't have to carry the babies so they can cross together. This nigga holding this baby ain't even with that bitch in front of him. I bet you. They ain't gonna never make it here anyway. But I bet you. That's not even his baby problem.
Mitch McConnell fight?
No. I'm saying that the reason why of course not. Unless they are seeking asylum legitimately or there's a reason for them to be here.
That's the dog whistle. Unless they are seeking asylum. See that? You gotta listen to the spin on words.
And everybody agrees with that. They need to come here legally. And there needs to be a process. And there was goodwill by both the president, Leader Pelosi, and Leader Schumer. But Mitch McConnell and Paul Ryan blocked it. I don't want to talk
politics tonight, Chris.
Thank you. Get
I want to talk about this mob. Okay. Go ahead, Katrina.
Look, Judge, it was President Trump who nearly doubled the recipients he was willing to accept over Obama, but that's neither here nor there. And this really isn't just any mob. This is a column on the march, carrying their own flag. This is an invasion. And I have to applaud the Mexican government for at least appearing to want to help with this situation, but let's not pretend this is organic. We're talking about men, thousands of men, only scattered with women and children for protection, who are actually marching across the border. This is another leftist.
If you're a YouTuber, you're probably...
We're not going to let you
funded operation, fully flagged with several innocent victims, photo-ready outrage designed to pull on the heartstrings of Americans, complete emotional attachment, only to distract from the rational analysis behind this. This is no more organic than Dr. Ford coming out in the 25th hour to try and have the left capitalize on getting rid of due process in this country. This is a $35 million project.
Katrina, if you want to talk about, if you want to go down the conspiracy theory hole about this, there is no way that Democrats in this country would have organized this at this point in the midterm election.
Why not? Why not? They're losing. They're losing. This takes you away from the fact that they are losing.
This is perfectly pitched for the Republican base right now. This is exactly what you needed at this time to energize
So you're going to tell me, Chris, that people who are
Katrina's suggesting that this is some conspiracy. I want to know what you know about the conspiracy, Katrina.
It costs $7,000 per head to bring these people. $7,000 per head to have these traffickers move these people throughout the southern hemisphere.
Yeah.
That is $35 million. How can impoverished people do this?
You're talking about a conspiracy.
No, bitch. She's talking about facts. This is the reason why I was dreading hearing this fuckboy speak.
From basically what you said was Democrats organized this in Guatemala.
Somebody organized it, Chris.
Just American Democrats, leftists.
All right, let me ask you this, Chris. Should they be stopped by the military at the border and turned around, and that whole mob, and unfortunately the mob thing seems to be a favorite of the left. Shouldn't they be turned around immediately? I don't even look at them. They're all men. All men. They just decide at some point they want to come to the United States all of a sudden, as opposed to last month, the month before, the month before.
I think all Americans believe in a secure border, and I think there needs to be order at that border, and I think that the president was offered order at the border by Democrats, and he rejected it because the Republicans wanted this issue at this.
He's lying. He's lying. He's a liar.
Trump. He offered 1.8 million Dreamers citizenship.
Well, I believe in order at the border, and I will tell you, there has been less order at the border under this president than there was before.
All Americans clearly are not in support of secure borders because we have a Democrat Party in the United States that supports sanctuary cities. You can't have a secure border and sanctuary cities. That's kind of not how it works, Chris. We have to resolve the issue. Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer had the perfect...
Oh, my. There's no such thing as mobs, and now there's no such things as sanctuary cities.
Opportunity to resolve it, and they refuse.
What there is people. What there is different times when people ask for documentation. What Katrina would have you do is for police to walk up to people.
Chris is out of his mind, Judge.
Dare say on this channel that there's no such thing as sanctuary. Chris,
please.
Stop
That's what you want, Katrina.
You're not going to come here and spin lies. There are sanctuary cities, counties, and states in this country where illegal criminals are provided more protection than American citizens. And don't you come on this show and say that that's not the case. That's it. Goodbye.
Look, any American that runs into the law is asked for identification. These people, not so much. That is sanctuary, Chris.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye. Jerry Falwell.
She was nice. I would have told him, don't ever come on my show again. You big nose lying piece of shit. You look like everything wrong in a cartoon. You look like you look like Elmer Fudd's daddy. You fucking piece of shit, Chris. You inhuman bastard. You don't think that we know George Soros funded that shit? From out of the money they stole from Haiti? I'll be waiting for somebody to go look up what it is that I had to go find, but then they'll tell me that I'm wrong. Because when you find out who it is that they arrested, all you have to do is go to their news. That's it. Google will translate all the shit for you too. You do realize that, right? They don't expect for you to find the sources of the information. They don't expect you to find the people doing this shit, but they're not hard to find. George Soros needs to be stopped. He needs to spend the rest of his life in jail. He needs to spend the rest of his life in jail around the Aryan Brotherhood, where he can live out the last few of his days in pure agony. They got something for his how do I say this? Godless ass. Get it? Ass.
Jr. and Tucker Carlson still on deck. Don't miss it.
They never go on there with answers. They never go on there with answers. They never do. They never tell you about the resolution of their ideas. They never tell you when to expect a return on your investment as an American. None of them is telling the people outside not to be violent. They're actually advocating. Judge Kavanaugh goes to get confirmed. Someone comes out the woodworks with a 30-year-old allegation. What was just happening before Judge Kavanaugh? What were we just talking about? Do you remember? The argument was about how Trump was winning with everything. And then we were going into the midterms with Trump having juice. Trump had the highest approval rating he's ever had. He's had over 8 world record stock exchange highs. He's reached the GDP to a growth unimaginable. And he was spanking ass everywhere he went to advocate for a Republican. They didn't tell you that Texas picked a Republican senator. It wasn't on the news. They didn't tell you that all of the blacks and the Hispanics voted for him. It wasn't on the news. You saw it on Fox a little bit, but that's probably where you saw it, if you saw it at all. You didn't see it anywhere else. All they do is put distractions out there when they're losing. Donald Trump was beating the shit out of Hillary Clinton. She was outside passing the fuck out. What do? They went and got some lying-ass bitches to jump up and say they fucked Donald Trump. Because do remember, before they came out, he definitely was bringing the victims of Bill Clinton to the rallies, to the meetings, debates. He was taking them. He was bringing them. So once he started doing that, he needed to be a rapist. They needed to make him one. Then out the woodwork, they present bitches. See, the one thing that's fucked up if you white in this country is this. Once you're labeled a racist, that's the hardest thing to prove that you're not. It's the hardest thing. You could have gone your whole entire life advocating for blacks. You could have donated half of your wealth to blacks. And you could be singing a Tupac song and accidentally say "nig," and someone records it, and it will end your fucking career. You don't even say nigga, you just be like, and then no, and they would still put that out there, and that in itself can end your career once you're branded as a racist. They have successfully temporarily lied to blacks, because blacks are woke the fuck up now. They see all this shit. Everything that they've done is showing blacks who the devils are. Then you got guys like me breaking it down and simplifying it for them so they understand who the true man is. Man got his foot on your back, you right, he Democrat.
Officers shot and killed in Georgia today, and the suspects are still at large. Officer Anton Toney of the Gwinnett County Police Department was shot around 3 p.m. He was responding to reports of a suspicious vehicle at a middle school near Snellville, Georgia. Toney, a 2-year veteran of the force, later died at the hospital. Witnesses say as many as 4 suspects fled the scene. And with no winner in last night's Mega Millions lottery drawing, the jackpot grows to a record-breaking $1.6 billion.
Topics we talk about with the...
Welcome.
Panel, syndicated radio show host Chris Hahn making a special appearance on Justice Tonight. Senior advisor to Trump 2020 reelection, Katrina.
We doing this again. I'm not doing this again. I'm going to go to the next. I like Jesse.
Welcome to Waters World. I'm Jesse Waters. Remember when President Obama said this in 2016 about Trump telling crowds he'll bring jobs back to America?
When somebody says, like the person you just mentioned, who I'm not going to advertise for, that he's going to bring all these jobs back. Well, how exactly are you going to do that? What are you going to?
Well, how exactly are you going to do that? What are you going to do?
There's no answer to it.
There's no answer.
He just says, "Well, I'm going to."
He just says, "I'm
going to negotiate a better deal." Well,
I'm going to negotiate a better deal. Well,
how exactly are you going to negotiate?
Well, how exactly are you going to do that? You mean to tell me because your dumb ass couldn't, he can't? You dumb ass motherfucker. You mean to tell me because your dumb ass couldn't, he can't? It seems to show that all around the world, blacks in America aren't respected because they ain't respect your punk ass when you came to the table and had to give them fucking Saudi boys $1 billion+ fucking dollars on a fucking plane, bitch. And by the way, abracadabra, motherfucker.
Negotiate that. What magic wand do you have?
Apparently a pretty good wand. Jobs have been coming back in a huge way. Donald Trump nearly doubling the amount of manufacturing jobs that Obama added since taking office on a monthly basis. Joining me now, the executive vice president of the Trump Organization and son of President Trump, Eric Trump. Good to see you, Eric.
Abracadabra.
There it is, wave it around.
Kind of amazing, huh?
I love the line. I think he said it on Twitter the other day, jobs versus mobs.
Yeah.
And that's a great way to frame the election.
You know why he got jobs back and Obama couldn't? Because
Jesse, you need some sleep, brother.
He's a businessman. He's a practical guy, and he's fought, and he's had backbone.
You can tell Eric he get to go to sleep on the plane because he owned it.
And he's gone to war, and he's made this happen. I mean, we've got the best economy this country has practically ever seen. Right?
Red hot right now.
I mean, it's unbelievable. Between GDP growth and unemployment, we've got the highest consumer confidence. We have markets at record highs. I mean, you know, we have kids running around. My kids ran in this field here.
The victim's family.
Go down the list. 401ks are going crazy. I mean, by every metric. Hey, even overseas, there people who don't necessarily like us are saying that America is the strongest economy in the world. We would have never won that award.
No,
before.
I don't think Hillary would have achieved this amount of success. Look at some of these numbers right here. Steelworkers getting a 14% raise. And when you think about the best cities for jobs right now, we're talking Pittsburgh, St. Louis, Indianapolis, Cincinnati.
Now look at this. You see why New York isn't on there right now? You see that New Jersey isn't on there right now? Do you see it? That they're not on there. St. Louis is on there, Indianapolis is on there, Ohio's on there, Detroit's on there, Cleveland is on there, Pittsburgh is on there, Cincinnati, North Carolina, Memphis. Yeah, Raleigh is up there. Hartford is up there. But you see that New York is absent in the 10 best cities to get jobs. Do you realize New York and California are New York, California, and Florida are the 3 largest states that hold the most illegal immigrants in them. And you are not seeing job growth there. You do not. They're not on that list. That's the Eastern Seaboard. It's in front of your face. And that's not the best place to be to work and get a job. Those are Democratic strongholds. They were.
Cincinnati, Hartford, Connecticut. I mean, look at these towns across America. This is a wide swath of success when you talk about blue-collar, manufacturing, middle-class jobs. That's going to really cut into the Democratic electoral base.
The Democrats forgot about the Rust Belt.
They did.
In fact, not only did they forget about the Rust Belt, go farther. They actually did everything they could to undermine the Rust Belt, right?
They did.
You know what's so sad? That Donald Trump has done more for the black community than any one of the people calling him a racist. And they keep asking, what has he done for black people? And then when you show them, they say, okay, but he's still a racist. But then I ask them, what has so-and-so did for black people? And the only thing they can tell me is that they did something they bought some clothes for a football team or some small shit that drug dealers do. I never hear them tell me they received an award for what it is that they've done for black people. And we're talking about black people. Donald Lemonade has never received an award for helping out the inner city. Ever. Not once. Donald Lemonade has never contributed anything to help better black America. Not once. So when you hear people saying that Donald Trump is a racist and you know better, you only look at the people and think to yourself, another fucking dummy.
They took on the steelworkers.
No man in business, no man building businesses can actually be successful if he's a racist in the business that he's in. Because there are too many black people you're going to have to shake hands with in order to make deals happen.
They took on the coal companies. They did everything to overregulate. I mean, these jobs left, and I talk about this all the time, but I mean, the amount of factories we saw going around the country that were shuttered, that were closed, that had no life, the lights weren't on, they all went overseas. They went to Mexico, they went to China. We rebuilt those countries, right, at the behest of the American worker, and it's why people are upset. It's why people are mad. And now all of a sudden you have 3.7% unemployment, more African Americans unemployed than ever before in history, more Hispanics employed than ever before in history, more females, same thing. I mean, people have jobs, and they're not working 3 jobs anymore, right? They're working 1 job, and they have benefits. And I mean, the country is doing amazingly well. We're the envy of the rest of the world now. Everybody wants to be America. And here you had Obama 2 years ago saying, well, what's Trump going to magically... You know, he's an amazing guy. He's a results-driven guy, and that's what America picked. And We need more business people in Washington. Honestly, these swamp creatures.
The swamp creatures. I think Trump is like tequila. He always wins.
Wow. I guess.
I know you don't drink too much, but I think for people that do drink tequila, tequila always wins. Let me talk to you about, your father says, Pocahontas. And as we know, she took a DNA test. Turns out she's 1/1000th, possibly Native American, possibly 1/1000th. And this is what your father had to say about her. Let's roll it.
You know what he said. She's mine, bitch. All right. I'm about to open this phone line up. I'm about to see what some people are thinking. Let me see if we got some people that want to say something before we get up out of here. Let me see. If you can't hear me, if someone's saying that they can't hear me, then that's probably your device because everyone else they hear me fine. Everyone is saying they hear me fine. Sorry, I stole your thing. I couldn't find mine. All right, the number's up. The number's up. Y'all can give me a call in, or give a text. Phone line is on. Sure. Yeah, Sack Jugalo. If you in the building, I missed your call yesterday. You give me a call today. I'm definitely here to answer and pick up the phone. I missed the call yesterday. Not the show number. This show number will always be here. You can just call up whenever I post it. I'm changing my personal number. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Extra chocolate 80. And I don't think that. I think that once I have the ability to get this message out there, I think that a lot of black people will never, ever, ever vote blue again. That's some shit that's gonna be a part of the past. The lines is open. You can text me. You can text me too, even though y'all in the audience. But if it's something you just want to say to me, you can text me too. Taking text messages. But you can call up. You can block your number. You don't have to have you don't have to give your number up. You can just block your number, say your screen name if you want to say something about what's going on with the illegals. You can say it. You can talk about that. If there's a show idea you want to talk about, we can talk about that. CNN has lost their credibility way before 2 years ago. Trust that much. What you think, Shannon? You think New York gonna flip and go red? Can you see it happening?
I don't think that's good. I think New York's got a better chance than anything's possible.
Okay, this may not be my cup of tea, but she may have some dope videos that I'm looking and I'm seeing. And I'm going to give her a look here because now she's on my show. That's one. And two, I'll check out the channel. I'm not against checking it out. I'll check it out. I have no problem doing that.
This is the greatest country on earth. Among our natural resources, an endless supply of idiots. They're everywhere. You don't even need to frack them. Here's a week's worth right here. First up, Liz Warren, otherwise known as Chief Spreading Bull. After years of being accused of lying about her Native American background, she decides to take a DNA test, creating a video around laughable results.
The president likes to call my mom a liar. What do the facts say?
The facts suggest that you absolutely have a Native American ancestor in your pedigree.
Wow, that looked totally natural.
The facts suggest that her mother's a fucking liar.
She got
She's a liar.
Any stiffer,
her I liars. Her daddy
toe
liar.
tag.
They liars.
Talk about a pale face. It's telling that they chose some Stanford academic to finesse these terrible results. They just knew they were about to paint a turd orange and call it sherbet. Because when the results arrived, it amounted to something between nearly 0 and nearly 0, like 0.09. If your IQ was 0.09, you would be granite. If they gave her a breathalyzer, she'd be over the legal limit of stupid. As a wise man once said, when it comes to Cherokee, she has more in common with the Jeep. Maybe she can be their spokesman. The slogan, unlike me, this Cherokee's not full of So think about what she pulled off. One law school directory listed her as Native American for 9 years. Harvard had her as Native American until 2004. She was called Harvard Law's first woman of color. And then there was the cook.
She was Harvard's law school first woman of color, people.
Book Pow Wow Chow. Recipes from 5 Indian tribes. She listed herself as Cherokee. Yeah, and I'm Bjorn from ABBA. Actually, I did some research to find out who has more Native American blood than her. Here they are. Bjorn from ABBA. Agnetha from ABBA. Anna Fried from ABBA. And the other guy from ABBA. Hard to believe. I actually did even more research to find out who has more Native American blood than her. Flipper. My office stapler. This helmet. So we spent a long time being
I fucking love this guy right here.
lectured by left-wing a-holes about what not to wear on Halloween. Better not wear a sombrero, amigo. Hands off the headdress. Cultural appropriation is so evil. But by all means, says our leading libs, totally claim ownership of an entire culture and exploit it for political purposes. Seriously, hasn't Warren committed the biggest cultural appropriation sin ever? She stole who they are. Now, I can talk because I am 2% Native American. It's true. That's more Indian than she is, meaning I'm Native American. I know what I'm going as for Halloween. So, could this be the end of identity politics? If DNA tests reveal that you contain the same amount of oppressed ancestry that Liz has, then you're oppressed too. If everyone's a minority, then nobody is. Except me. As you know, I did do my own DNA test on the 5, and then I made a video.
Hi, I'm Greg Gutfeld. My ancestry is incredibly rich. Remember the Donner Party? That's my great-great-grandfather, Carl. He never went hungry. I'm proud of my family's roots, so I decided to take a DNA test. The results were fascinating. Turns out I'm 40.8% British and Irish, 9% Iberian, 2% Native American, and 20% Minotaur, and 20% giant sequoia. Yeah, one of my granddads had a thing for trees. I'm also 30% centaur, which explains why it's hard to get genes that fit. There's also a bit of sea serpent in there, about 90%. At this point, I know what you're thinking. That adds up to more than 100%. Well, it's 212.3% to be exact. How can that be? Well, I'll tell you. It's because I am Slarg, the gargantuan devil beast that feasts on the souls of the dead. I am a being of infinite manifestations, fueled by a hell-bent thirst for human suffering.
And the shit is, seriously, all jokes aside, what he's trying to do is tell you who these people are. He's trying to tell you in a joke. He's trying to tell you by joke. But he's actually trying to tell you who these people are. Listen, he's trying to tell you who these people are. He's showing you this satanic shit. He's not telling you that it's him. He's making fun of them.
Bow before me, or bear the wrath of my endless mutilations as I tear at the flesh of your naked, cowering loved ones.
I'm telling you, this is what he's doing. He's showing you who these people are. Because Greg can't come out and tell you that there's globalists and there's a new world order trying to take over the country. But I'm sure he knows. Some people are trying to keep a smile on their face to hide the true insanity that they're fighting and they're trying to deal with. But in all actuality, this man here is crying out to you through comedy. Because listen, comedians are the only ones who make you laugh through their tragedy. He's up here not because he's the smartest light bulb when it comes to political issues, but it's because he's the best light bulb when it comes to breaking down political issues and not having you want to kill yourself. But for me, seeing this, it allows me to understand that I'm not fucking crazy. I'm not batshit crazy. This is really happening.
Gutfeld 2020, paid for by the committee to elect Slarg.
Somebody just texted me and then asked me what should happen with the caravan. I told them it should never make it. They said, okay, it will. Okay, but how do you know that it will? See, that's just the one thing I don't want to deal with. You can't say it will if it hasn't. It's already been stopped. The United States military will guard our borders, and the borders will be shut down, and anyone who's coming to them will be sent back. That's it.
Don't applaud. Don't applaud that monstrosity. That was really unexpected. So anyway, the other idiot this week, the litigating lollipop Michael Avenatti. The dome dope had been using various victims to attract the spotlight for himself, but when he finally finds the spotlight, this happens. This week, the judge ruled in favor of Donald Trump in Stormy's defamation case against him and ordered that she pay Trump's legal fees. This was the judge's way of telling Stormy that her lawyer is giving lawyers a bad name. Think about that. She's a porn star, and her lawyer's so bad, suddenly her career looks respectable. She used to get paid to screw people. Avenatti just screwed her, and she has to pay him. He is to lawyers what Liz Warren is to Indians, an embarrassment. So it's really been a week of backfiring. Everything blew up in their faces. The DNA test exposes Warren as 0.0 Indian. The judge exposes Avenatti as 100% bozo. Meanwhile, the U.S. regains its spot as the #1 competitive economy in the world, and U.S. job openings hit a record 7.1 million, exceeding the number of unemployed Americans. Pretty soon, you're going to need a DNA test to prove you're an unemployed American. That's pretty good for Trump, but it may not be good enough for Liz Warren and Avenatti. There may be 7 million job openings, but we still have at least 2 more idiots than we need.
I fucking love that segment. Yes. Shout out to my boy Tyrus in the building.
Let's welcome tonight's guest. He's the prescription for your affliction. Host of the radio show Dr. Drew Midday Live, Dr. Drew Pinsky. He's split more sides than a butcher on meth. Comedian Jimmy Fallon. I'm not used to that jacket. She's the pinnacle of cynical. National Review reporter Kat Tim. And he always has his head in the clouds, literally. Former WWE superstar, my massive sidekick, Tyrus. Dr. Drew, you're a doctor. What did Senator Warren accidentally do to herself this week?
Other than shoot herself in the foot?
Yes.
You know, I found on my radio program, I had a number of Native Americans call us and say each tribe determined its own criteria for heritage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's usually between 1/8 and 1/16. But for Cherokee particularly, you have to register with the Indian Affairs Department, and you have to be able to show your heritage back to a given individual in order to call yourself Cherokee. And they were deeply offended by this.
Mm-hmm.
Deeply offended. Talk about... You say appropriation. It was the ultimate appropriation.
Yeah, they tried...
The ultimate appropriation. Get it from the doctor.
She tried to steal their identity. It's, Jimmy, it's an outrage.
Yeah. That bitch didn't try. She did. That bitch stole their identity. She used it at Harvard and was the first woman of fucking color.
Not as outrageous.
Yo, that's ridiculous, man. This bitch should be fucking sued, man.
Outrageous as this jacket.
I know. I'm trying to think. Did you buy that at Chess King or Merry-Go-Round?
This is my oldest guy in the boy band look.
Okay.
Like, I look like the guy they won't fire because I can buy them beer after the show.
Yes.
What do you call the boots?
They do come in men's, if you wonder. But
Terry Shepard would love those.
I know, she'd be a fan. I actually do think she disqualified herself.
Right.
The reason I say that is not because of anything Trump's going to do, but because of what her own party is going to do in the primaries.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's tougher on you when you screw up than your friends. You know what I mean? So, like the time you said you were a Native American, like she's never going to live this down for the rest of her life.
And then you know who's going to go after her? I mean, Joe Biden must be he must be pleased as punch. Kamala Harris.
Oh, thrilled.
Cory Booker.
Yeah.
She's gone. I don't think there's any way she can come back.
And you want to know why she should go away? It's not because she lied. It's because she outed herself as dumb.
Yeah.
Anyone who thought this was acceptable proof based on the results,
Let her do
this
that.
is like telling someone you have a really hot girlfriend, but the only picture in your wallet is clearly from a magazine ad.
Hey, you know what? I only did that once. Kat, for your birthday, you are going to be showing up in a coffin.
Yeah.
So you are appropriating the lifestyle of the dead. You're as bad as she is.
I'm dead on I'm dead on the inside.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
So this story, I mean, I was sitting around my apartment earlier this week.
Mhm.
Shocking, I
Yes.
know. And I was thinking the only friend that I have that lives close to me anywhere in this city is a cat.
Yes,
Right?
of course.
Like I wake up, there's the cat.
Right.
You know, during the day, there's the cat. I go to bed, there's the cat.
Cat feels the
So
same way.
if Liz Warren is 1,1024th Native American, I've got to be at least 1,1024th cat.
Yes, that's true.
Just your name alone makes
Based
you
on
that.
yes,
Yeah,
based
just your
on the
name.
time that I spend around the cat. And if you don't think that cat human culture is a thing, it is definitely a thing.
Yeah.
We walk around with clothes covered in it, like people don't notice.
No, I notice.
We buy frozen meals for one.
Yes.
We own wine stoppers.
Yes.
But like, who are we kidding?
I know, that's true. Wishful thinking. Cyrus, where do we go with this?
I'll be honest with you. I checked out when the green dude showed up. You have lost your damn mind.
Zlarg? Are you talking about Zlarg?
Zlarg, yeah. That was. Just damn, man. Like, what the hell? Like, don't start eating people because I can't handle that. Don't Dahmer on me.
I can safely say I probably didn't write that sober.
Yeah. Listen, these are these days that I'm so happy I didn't have grandparents. Because it was her lying-ass grandparents who got her in this mess. Especially, everyone's got your great-grandfather was Cherokee, was a chief Cherokee Indian. How many people have heard that damn lying-ass story in their childhood? Like, everybody says the same thing. And just one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know white people are. It can only be one.
Yes.
More than two, you're out the game. But there's always that one. And she believed Papa or whatever weird nickname she had for Grandpa who told her that drunk-ass lying story. So much so that I'm pretty sure her team was like, this is not a good idea. No. My grandfather told me it is true.
Yes.
And now we have to deal with, not only is she not Native American, which I kind of think she already really knew.
Yeah.
Because no one ever made jokes. There was no teases going on or anything like that.
Right.
But now she has to face the president of the United States of America.
Yes.
Every time they're in the hallway, he's going to be like, hey, stop. Ow. Like, it's guaranteed.
Yeah.
I was just thinking whoever let her put that up must be the same person that let you put the Zlarg video up.
No.
You know what is amazing, though? It's Saturday night, and right now she's home shocked that she didn't win the Mega Millions because she thinks 1 in 302 million is good chance.
Let's end on that great joke.
That was crazy. That was crazy. Yeah, that was crazy. So now they want us to worry about this journalist. This journalist that was killed overseas, who was basically a journalist, but he wasn't a citizen, or he was in Saudi Arabia. He was a big journalist in Saudi Arabia. Democrats want us to go to war over that. Absolutely not. Nope. Trying to find some Hannity, man. Where's the love, yo? All right, people. On that note, I'm gonna tell you, that I love you to death. I appreciate everybody for being in the building. Congratulations, Live Free or Die. Congratulations, Sean Maville. Shout out all my moderators, everybody in the building. I want to tell you that there's nothing wrong with saying, I don't want to pay for someone to fuck. I don't want to be responsible for paying for someone's kid because they decided to fuck. If I'm paying for someone's kid that I didn't make, I must be able to fuck his bitch. I know, this sounds crazy, but it's true. In some way, shape, or form, that pussy has got to earn its keep. You're not geniuses, because if you were geniuses, we would be clamoring to have you over here. We got enough shit we need geniuses for. We don't need anyone over here to take care of them. We have a bunch of people we need to take care of already. I don't want to take care of nobody. Seriously, all jokes aside, people. It's not fair that a bunch of grown-ass individuals think that somehow we are required to give them anything. I knew that when I heard that there was a caravan of people coming, that them people weren't going to make it. I knew that hearing that shit meant that this was the actual line crossing. The line was drawn in the sand, and this here was the actual crossing of the line. Someone asked me if they make it here, they will not make it here. They won't make it here. If they make it here, it's going to be bad for Mexico. It makes Mexico look weak. They have to go through an entire country in order to get here. They do. They don't just hop and skip and jump and now they're in the United States. They're at the Mexican and Honduran border. A lot of them got into Mexico, but they got to get through Mexico and still get to the States. It's not as easy as you think. And those people will not get past the United States military. The border will be closed. That's it. It's been done before. If they complain and say, oh, he's doing it, we'll remind them it's been done before. We will remind them that Barack Obama did it and with 1,200 troops, and that George Bush did it with 6,000. 6,000. What was it? 600. One of the two. I was wrong when I said I made up the term intellectualism. It's already a term, but the attack on being an intellectual and intellectualism is real. You're trying to use your brain, you're trying to use, your right to think for yourself, your right to be a citizen. If you want to be free, you're under attack. Currently, it doesn't matter what party you think you're with. If you're somebody that wants to be free, you're under attack. There were people marching to our doorstep, expecting to come in and take over our country and turn it to what they want, to bend it to their will. They are expecting us to pay for their lifestyle, which involves them living and fucking. We ain't going for that shit. Ain't none of us going for that shit. I want to thank everybody for being in the fucking building. Everybody. I fucking love you guys. Let me explain something about Mexico, extra chocolate, before I get out of here. Let me explain something about Mexico. The U.S. kept pushing Mexico as if they were a helpless, fragile nation needing a daddy. Telemundo and Univision continue to promote their hate for Donald Trump, especially Telemundo. Continue to promote the hate for Donald Trump because they're being told to. All the while, Mexicans is hearing this shit. Some buying it, but a lot of them are saying to themselves, I would never leave my country. I wonder why the news keep portraying us as if we don't want to be here when we love our country. And most people trying to get into the U.S. from Mexico are trying to bring in drugs. Mexicans are not clamoring to just leave the country that they were born in and have family and shit in, and land and everything else, and ties, to come here and be bothered by a bunch of fucking Americans. If you think that that's what's happening, you're dead ass wrong. People are being caught along the border because they're trying to do bad shit. There are some cases where some people don't mean harm. That's too and few. We at war with the Democrats. We're at war with the globalists who've taken over the Democratic Party completely. And whereas when they had Bush in office and he was running the Republican Party, he may have had some Republicans afraid, but he didn't run the party. He didn't run the party. He didn't get a lot of approval after the lies with Iraq and everything else. He didn't get a stronghold like we think he did in the GOP. Although he did get a great deal of senators and House members to join his bullshit ass globalist squad. But these people completely have taken over the Democratic Party. It was the easiest party to buy because it started off with people who were broke. They started off with the promise to do something, and then they walked into a room and they was told what they had to do in order to be something that they thought they wanted to be. And at that moment in time, they decided if they wanted to sell us out or not. If you've seen them on television for CNN, if you've seen them on television for MSNBC, shit, in a lot of cases, if you've seen them talking on Fox News on behalf of the Democratic Party, you've seen the sellout. Welcome to 2018, where in front of our face, the government of the United States of America is under attack from within. Our institutions, our criminal justice institutions have been infiltrated. Everything illegally done that you can think of is being done right now on the Democratic side. I love you. I love you to death. I love you to death. Stay safe. Stay American. Stay healthy. And remember, fuck the other side, bitch. We don't care.